to give a small opinion, a small review on the Cosmic Tarot. This one that I have is from AGM and it's in Spanish because I bought it in Spain. But it's exactly the same images in English, so I'll show you the deck anyway. So first of all, we have a little white book that we get in most decks, and then we have the card that tells us a little bit of information about the author, the artist. The artist of this deck is Norbert Lotsche, and I'm sure I've said that wrong, Lotsche, but he's German anyway. So Norbert's German, and we're going to start with these cards. Because they're AGM, we've got good quality cards. AGM did tend to really bring out good quality cards that last for really well for reading with. So the quality of the card is really good, and I always like the size of AGM's card. US Games, I believe, have distributed this deck anyway, but the cards are by AGM and brilliant. The back of the cards, we have, as we can see, we have a pentagram, and then we have some like cosmic things going on in the background. It's just a lovely backdrop of a deck of cards and very different from what we're used to seeing. They've got that 80s feel to them because they are 80s, and I'm not sure what 80s year it is. I think it's 85, 86. Yeah, but it's around that time period. So we can see that in the images. This is the full card. We have a lot of astrological signs going on with these cards. This is a magician, and you know, most of the cards you can see some kind of zodiac or horoscope or astrology sign going on in the background. Now, whether it follows the same kind of astrology sign that you know with the cards, if you use tarot and horoscopes or tarot and astrology together, because there is quite a difference between this deck and a lot of the other decks or a lot of the systems that we know. But that depends on the system that you use, and every tarot reader is different, and everyone uses a system that they want. The Emperor, the Pope. And then we have these like dramatic cards, like this is the Eight of Cups. The Seven of Cups. The King of Cups. This is very Clark Gable, and whether or not the artist is trying to draw famous actors or whether he was just inspired by famous actors, and a few of them is really done over the top, like look, you can tell this is Clark Gable immediately. Whether that was supposed to be that way or whether he was just inspired, because a lot of them I don't know who they are, a lot of the images, so some of them look like famous actors, some of them don't, so I'm not sure where he was coming from with that, but it makes no difference. It's really good to see Clark Gable in any deck of cards. And then the wands, we have these again, very dramatic, very well done cards, and you know, the artist has taken the time to put symbols everywhere, to put as many symbols as they can, really fill up this deck of cards, and it follows a lot of the Rider-Waite ways, and you can see a lot of Thoth ways in there, so it's a bit of a combination. I think we're definitely following the Golden Dawn kind of path with this deck of cards. I absolutely love this Ten of Swords. Absolutely love it. I mean, you can't get much more dramatic than that one for a Ten of Swords. The one thing, this is the Nine of Swords. The one thing I don't really like about this deck is how the colours seem to be. It feels like there's a curtain over every card. I'm not sure if you can see them dark, dull colours and all these little dots on the cards that just make it feel like there's some kind of veil over the cards. So and that is a personal taste. I'm a blue person, I'm a bright person, I'm kind of a Samson image person. I like everything very vibrant, and these colours to be so dull and you know, to be kind of covered, the colours just seem to be a bit covered in my eyes. That's one thing that's a little bit off-putting for me, but I have a lot of tarot friends who read the cards with this deck of cards, and they absolutely love the colours. I mean, that's the one thing that draws them to them, that they're not bright cards and that there's not all blue and they're not all all vibrant. So that again, we're back to depends on the artist. Depends on the reader. Again, we've got the artist has put as many symbolisms as he can in the cards. Look at that, 3 of Swords, the 2 of Swords. I thought I had this deck of cards. Like this person, I don't know who this is. If it's supposed to be an actor, if it's somebody I'm supposed to know, not supposed to know. I've never seen them before. Maybe it's me. I'm not up to date with actors that the artist knew, or maybe it's a German actress. I'm really not sure where we're going with these images. But like this one, I do recognise her as an actress. I can't think of her name right now, but I definitely recognise her as an actress. So yeah, I feel that this is an amazing deck of cards to work with, and for the amount of people that I know that use this deck as a working deck, very Rita Hayworth going on with that one. Beautiful. I thought I had this deck. I was quite convinced I had this deck, and looking for it one day I realised that I didn't have the deck, or at least I no longer had the deck. And I think it's because a lot of my students have this deck and a lot of my tarot friends have it. I've seen it so many times over the years that I've somehow convinced myself that I had the deck. So I was out with my daughter last week, and we entered a little spiritual weird type shop and came across this deck of cards, and well, I couldn't wait to get hold of them. And today I'm going to do a reading with this deck of cards, and I'm looking forward to do my first reading with them, or at least my first reading that with this deck that I know of. Because like I said, I'm pretty convinced I already had this deck. The 7 of Wands. I'm sorry, I'm showing you the cards, I'm not telling you which ones they are, because I'm busy talking. The 5 of Wands. And then we have the coins. I mean, this is very typical of a 3 of coins that we're quite used to seeing in most Rider-Waite type decks. And the 2 of coins, his infinite sign is on the floor instead of being in his hands juggling them. 3 of Wands. That's very Elizabeth Taylor. I think there was so much work gone into this deck, so much detail, so much symbolism, and this is probably why it's so popular and why so many people absolutely adore this deck. The World card, because it's one of those decks where every time you give a reading you can be inspired, because you can always be finding something new. But they're not overly busy, if that makes sense, because some decks, there can be so much in there that they're overly busy and it's quite hard to work with because there's too much going on. This is a lot going on, quite busy, a lot of symbolisms, but it doesn't seem to be too overly busy on any of the cards. So it just makes that kind of perfect balance. The Star card, that was the Moon, this is the Star. This is very Sean Connery. This is the King of Wands. And, well, yeah, very, very Sean Connery. Temperance. So, well, if you've got this deck of cards, let me know in the comments. If you want this deck, if you've used this deck before, let me know how you get on with it. And if you don't have this deck, I know that it's on Amazon at the moment. You can pick it up for quite cheap. Mine was around 18 euros, 19 euros. But on Amazon, that's roughly what it is. So you can pick up the deck pretty cheap still at the moment. That's the Death card. I'm really looking forward to using it because I love all these little symbols that keep popping out. Well, that's my take today. I'm going to leave you with this beautiful Lovers card. Look how gorgeous that is. Absolutely gorgeous. It won't be a working deck for me. I know it won't be a working deck. It's going to be a deck that's going to be in my collection, and every now and again I'll pick up and do a reading with it whenever I fancy it. And the reason I know it's not going to be a working deck is because of the colours. Those dark dramatic colours, that veil over the colours is something that's going to be off-putting to me. But like I said, every tarot read is different. That might be what draws you to the deck. I hope you enjoyed my little review of this amazing deck of cards, and if you do, give me a like, give me a share, subscribe. Thank you very much.